jungle. Who wants the smoke? I didn't think so. Use a joke, about to get your ankles broke. Chasing C notes. Chasing C notes. Welcome to the jungle. Who wants the smoke? I ain't think so. Use a joke, about to get your ankles broke. Chasing C notes.
Welcome to Chasing C Notes, a podcast. I'm your co-host, Sarek, and I'm always joined by my co-host, Larry. What's good, Larry?
What's going on, man?
What's going on? This is episode number 26. Larry, this is the end of season episode. How are you feeling overall about this season that just went past? I know we're going to talk about OKC in a moment, but how are you feeling? Like, I know as Celtics fans, we didn't accomplish our goal, but overall, how are you feeling?
Feeling okay. I'm thinking, yes, maybe we need to shorten the season and we won't have so many injuries, So, but other than that, we're good.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the injuries because now it's three injuries that we can talk about. Halliburton, the Tatum, and what happened to
Dame and Kyrie.
Kyrie too? Yes. Yeah, just a lot of injuries. I know with Kyrie and Dame, I know they're getting up there in age, but why, Tatum and Halliburton, just
Very
too
young.
much.
Yeah.
They're young.
They didn't play much in the Olympics. I don't know what the issue was.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue was either. So we'll talk about the finals, and then we'll go into the NBA news. Larry, you picked OKC in 5. I had the Pacers in 6. OKC won it in Game 7. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. Could the game be different if Halliburton wasn't injured?
Ooh. I still think OKC would have won the game. I think it would have been a little closer towards the end. I think Halliburton would have had a hell of a game, just like he did the previous game. He was trending. I think he had 9 or 12 points before he got injured. But I still think OKC would have had too much firepower, and they would end up winning that game. So that part makes me feel good because I would hate the fact that Halliburton cost Indiana that championship. But you got to give it out to Indiana. I mean, no one's worried about them right now because Halliburton's not going to be back probably for another year. But yeah, give it up to them. They did a good job. They won some games by the skin of their teeth, and they were able to push the envelope. And it was the most watched NBA game in a very long time.
And I was worried because these are kind of small market teams, but I think everyone loves a Game 7. Everyone loves a do or die, play or go home, play or win a championship. Literally, just play or win. And to be honest with you, I only went with the Pacers pick because I wanted to zigzag the other way, but they showed me that this was a real team. I was convinced that the way that the game was going with pre-Halliburton injury, that the Pacers had a chance. I just feel like that injury really shook not only the Pacers but also OKC. So I'm not gonna dwell. If you were a Pacers fan, you could probably be kicking the walls right now, but it is what it is. I mean, do you see OKC winning a couple of championships, or do you see a real competition?
Yeah, I mean, I said the same thing about the Celtics last year when they won. I'm like, oh, these guys can win 2 or 3 more. I'm going to say the same thing about OKC. Right now, what is OKC's biggest threat on the East? Cleveland. I think Cleveland just picked up Lonzo Ball. And then on the West, yeah, you have Houston that's trying to trend. You have Dallas that will get better when January hits. But overall, who's the most put together team? It's still OKC.
Yeah, I feel like that question of can they win multiple championships. It's not really fair because it's been a long time since someone won back-to-back championships, especially in the NBA. I don't think it's been happening in the last 5, 6 championships. So so much talent out there. Teams are getting better. It's just hard, but I think the odds are like 3-1 OKC to win it again. I think that they have the best chance, but again, we're all humans. Injuries happen. Like you said, they need to shorten this season. 82 games might be too much. Plus the playoffs might be too much. Might be just a little bit too much on the human body.
Definitely.
Were you entertained during this final?
Oh yeah, I know the numbers were low in Game 1, and that was because it was OKC in Indiana. And then you saw how it trended up just because Game 1 was such a dramatic finish. I think it started to grab more people in. But at first I thought OKC was just going to blow them out, and Indiana was not going to put up a fight. But it was very, very entertaining on both sides. We knew Indiana could score points. We saw that, 2 years ago when they won the Eastern end-season tournament. We knew Indiana was coming, but we just thought that their defense was not going to be enough to slow down OKC. But they proved. They shut them down. I think OKC only had 91 points in that Game 6, so they proved they could shut them down.
Yeah, if you like defense, this was a good series because both teams play defense very, very hard, especially OKC. But Indiana kind of showed me something, and hey, I think the future is going to be bright as long as they keep the core together when Halliburton comes back. Overall, tip my hat to OKC. They did it. Larry, let's talk about NBA news because there's a lot that we have to talk about, especially going to end up with a lot of Celtics stuff. But the first thing is the Lakers sale. So,
how about the opposite?
I know. I guess there were rumblings about Lakers being for sale, but it finally happened, especially after the Celtics just got sold. Was this a good move by the Buss family?
Oh yeah, definitely. And we know what the dad paid for it and what she sold for, $10 million, and to do it right after the Celtics just got sold, it shows that the Lakers have more value, which I think is what they really wanted to show. And she's still going to be partly involved for a while. It's not like she's walking away from it. And I think they put it in the right hands. The LA Dodgers have been doing a really good job. So that whole conglomerate is doing a really good job. So Magic's back involved, everything like that. So everything is going to be good for the Lakers.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you that you buy low, sell high. That whole that saying doesn't change no matter what. Whether it's basketball teams, whether it's tools, whatever it is, you buy low, sell high, stocks, whatever. They wanted to get out of the business. I can understand. You can only own so many. You can only have so much money to divide in the States. So I understand. I understand completely, and I'm not mad at them at all. The other news, the KD trade. So we went back and forth in the group chat that we have with the friends. I thought that both teams came out on top. What do you think? What do you think had the leverage? Does the Phoenix had the leverage or Houston?
I think Phoenix and Houston did well. The thing that I thought had was Miami and any other team that had a chance to get KD really missed the boat on that because KD still is valuable. He could still probably play about 3 to 5 years easily. And, Phoenix got a chance to rebuild and they still kept a lot of core players. Houston, they lost out on two main players, but they still kept Amen Thompson and they got KD. And that right there, that 1-2 punch is going to be pretty deadly. So, we know Houston needs to get another player, and we don't know when they're going to get it. But free agency opens up in 2 days or so. So we'll see. Right now we can say who won the NBA draft, but until free agency is over, we don't really know who won.
Yeah, that's and that's my point. I think that yes, Houston definitely is going to get instant offense, instant results. Phoenix, it's going to be, it's going to be a long shot. It's going to be a process, right? So it's hard to tell who won the trade because, like you said, the season's not over. The trading season's not over. So I think Houston is going to make a couple more trades, and Phoenix is going to make a couple of trades. Especially now, they have so many centers right now. It's ridiculous. They just picked up another center from Charlotte. So the other set of news is the NBA draft. Cooper Flag got the number 1 pick. We're not surprised, but was anything kind of surprising to you?
No, I mean, I think last year's draft was surprising. We took a lot of international players early, but this draft went as it was supposed to. And the only thing that was surprising in this draft was that Dallas got the number 1 pick. I mean, I think that was the only thing. So the lottery was a surprise, but not the draft. We all knew that they had no choice but to take Flag, or Dallas would have been blown up. So they did what they needed to do, and now they're building up. But when you look at that team, and you think about like a number 1 pick, other than like Tim Duncan going to the Spurs, and that was only because David Robson got injured. We never seen a great player go to a team that's already built. So this is going to be pretty interesting to see. This guy is like, I don't know, did he miss senior year in high school? I don't know why he's so young. We said he was the second youngest since LeBron. He's amazing. This guy's amazing. And yes, he's got to work on his jump shot. And yes, he's got to work on his dribbling and ball handling. But other than that, there's really no flaws in his game. And obviously, we got to wait till January until we see what the Kyrie effect will look like. But Dallas is going to be pretty intense. And don't sleep on Klay Thompson. They have a really stocked team, and they already have Twin Towers already, even before AD was there. So they're in good shape.
Yeah, and we talk about the West teams, and that's a team that got better through free agency to trade and now the draft. So I want to give a shout out to Maine because that's where Flag is from. So shout out to Maine. They got some ballers out there. So let's talk about Celtics trade because we know that they had to get under the luxury tax. I guess there were 2 tiers and they were like way beyond the second tier. So they got rid of Porzingis and they got rid of Holiday. Are there any more trades that are going to happen in your estimation?
I don't think they need to make any more trades. I think we all knew this was coming. Anyone who knows anything about the Celtics knew there was no way they were paying that money and that they had to make these trades. And Holiday and KP were the 2 names that we were holding our breath to make sure they didn't go any deeper than that. So now we're under the second apron, and now we are, we're doing what we need to do. Now it's free agency because now we need to bolster our bench. We know from OKC and Indiana that you got to have a bench in order to compete, and we did not like our bench last year. Yes, we had Pritchard, but that was pretty much it. We had some good big men, but we didn't really have the bench that we needed to compete, and we saw what happened. We definitely had the best starting 5, but you need to have a bench, and so I'm glad that we're working on that. And when free agency opens up, we can make some changes to that. There's still a lot of good players available.
Yeah, when they're still in that luxury tax second tier. Not second tier, first tier. And I think that the new owners want to get below that because it opens up a lot of flexibility. They're not in the penalty anymore. So, like I said, I think that they need to kind of get better bench players. So I think the next move, to be honest, is Sam Hauser. I just don't know if his current salary is $2 million a year. I don't know if that's high enough for them to be able to trade him, but I know that they want to keep Al and they want to keep Luke Cornett next year. But again, we're talking about $2 million with Luke Cornett. I don't know if you're going to ask more than that in free agency, but, getting Neon, which, to be honest, and I told you that, I was making fun of him way back in 2021 when he was on the Sixers and now he's with the Celtics. I don't know, where do you play him? Like, he's listed as a small forward. Do you just use him off the bench?
I mean, he can shoot threes. I'm pretty sure he does a really good cookout. So he's probably a good locker room guy. So, we need a lot of teams carry dead weight like that. Miami did it for a while. Milwaukee did it. I think New York even had some dead weight this season with who's that banger that they got from Miami and Milwaukee that they brought him on at the end. He didn't play at all. And then Neon he can be that. He can be our 3-point specialist sometimes. We need that. Who's the guy we had that we sent to Houston that used to do threes for us like that? We can have him take care of us for that. But we still need to work on our bench. And even if we keep him, that's fine. We need to find out where Hugo and Max are going to fit in, and we need to figure out. We got to do some shuffling around. We need to have that second team, and not just a 6-man.
So who right now would be your starting 5 without? Obviously, we're talking about, it's the end of June and we're talking about starting 5. But who right now would be your starting 5 for next year?
I'm starting off with George and Tillman, of course. Joking. Definitely going to have White in there, Brown in there, Horford. And then, I would probably play Simmons and then possibly a veteran, which I think we're going to get from free agency. So I think we still are going to get somebody next month. And I think that's going to be our final starter until Tatum comes back.
So then you Simmons, White, Brown, Herford, and who is your number 5?
That mystery guy that we don't have yet.
The mystery, because would you start Luke Cornett?
You can, but that would only be to give Horford a break.
Yeah, they need some big. I mean, I know that they drafted this guy out of Kentucky, but he's not going to start. He's going to go in the G League. So, yeah, there's more trades to come for the Celtics for sure. I don't know what Brad Stevens is going to be doing, but there's more trades to come. There's more. I think that they're going to go below that threshold, that tier 1 threshold for luxury tax. I don't think the new ownership wants to pay that. So let's talk about the Celtic draft, because again, to me, it was kind of a head scratcher. So Hugo Gonzalez, first round. The dude is out of Spain. Everyone raves about him. He has a good engine. He's a hustler.
Got a championship.
Do you send him to the G League or do you keep him on the bench? Because he didn't get a lot of playing time for Real Madrid. He averaged about 10 minutes a game.
I wouldn't make that decision until we see what happens when summer league starts up. See how he does during summer league. If he can't run with those guys, then yeah, maybe he has to go to the G League. I don't know if he has. I don't know if he's going to be that missing starter that I'm looking for. I don't know that yet. I got to see what he does in the summer league, and I got to see what we get for free agency. But we'll go from there. For right now, there's going to be a lot of really tough guys in the summer league this year. So we'll see what happens. Super Flag, I'm pretty sure it's not going to play at all. Maybe he'll sit on the bench for summer league. But yeah, so that's just what I'm looking for now when summer league kicks off soon.
Now, do you feel the same way about Max Shulga out of BCU?
I don't know him that well. Again, I know he'll get some playing time during summer league, so I'm going to be watching them and how they interact with our other bench and some of the other new players that we're going to bring in that may not even make the practice squad. So we'll just take a look at that, and I'm pretty sure we'll bring some guys up from the G League anyway to play in the summer league.
Yeah, I think the summer league is going to determine whether or not some of these guys play for Maine. Talk about Maine. Play for Maine for the I don't know what is it, the Maine Celtics, I think? Yeah, I think something like that. So Amari Williams, same thing. Sent out the Kentucky. So it all depends. Right now, we don't even know what their salaries are going to be. And they're probably going to be pretty cheap. But Miles Morris, they got out of Santa Barbara, but he's a forward at 6'7". So maybe, that G League is going to determine whether or not these dudes are ready to play the NBA. So, Larry, what is your outlook for next year? Like, obviously, we know that Tatum is not going to be there. And did they say that JB is going to be ready for training camp?
JB, I don't know what his time frame is. I feel like we're going to miss him possibly for a month. Let me see. If Kyrie's not coming back to January, I'm thinking we're not going to get Tatum until April. And I'm thinking Halliburton's going to miss the whole year. So that means that's the reason why we got, when we lost Holiday, we got more offense with Simmons. But
so you think that that's going to be their identity for next year? They're going to be like, you know what? We don't have the defensive player. We don't have Porzingis. We don't have Tatum. We don't have Holiday. We're just going to try to outscore people.
Yeah, because that just leaves White and Brown to carry that load. Horford and Cornette can do a little bit, but that's pretty much it. So that's why I'm thinking when we grab somebody for free agency, we're grabbing a defensive player, a decent defensive-minded player that's lanky and long, and there's a lot of those available.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Brad Stevens and Joe Maz, they need to sit down and figure out, because I don't think that they're going to be trash next year. I think that they're going to compete. I just don't know, how many games. I don't know what the over and under is right now, because even if there is one out there, we don't know till they have a full team assembled. So right now, as it stands, I think this team can win 30 games right now. If they get a good defensive player or if they get another shot blocker, they might win 40 games. But in a conference like the East, especially next year with no Halliburton, no Tatum, we don't know what the Knicks coaching is going to look like. So I feel good. I feel good, actually. I think this team might be in the playing game.
Yeah, definitely. Indiana and New York went down a notch because of the changes, because of Halliburton and their coach. But you still have Cleveland that's going to be there, and then who's next? It should be Boston, but we don't know what we're going to look like yet. So, but I think Orlando's going to take a step up, obviously, and we're going to have to deal with them as well. So.
Yeah, I think Orlando is going to take a step up. I think Detroit is definitely going to take a step up. I don't know what Atlanta is going to look like, and obviously, I feel like Charlotte's going to be the doormat. And again, I don't know what Miami's going to. So we're going to see what this team's put together. I really don't think that they're just going to throw the season away. I think that they're going to compete. Yes, they're going to be a man short, but I think they're going to compete.
Yeah. I mean, last year we always said, hey, they don't even need a starter and they can still win those games. Now we're missing that starter, so let's see what they can do. We didn't know we were going to lose three starters, but so we'll see what they end up doing. And as long as they're still in that middle row and they can get into playoff contention where they're either 1, 2, 3, or 4, even 5 would be fine. I think they'll be fine. And then I think that's when they'll make the switch if they want Tatum to play,
To be honest, even if, they're in the playoffs, I just would rush Tatum back. No matter, let him. If we lose him for the entire year, so be it. This dude needs to get back to his original self. We can't take any chances. I'm not running the organization, but why even, and like you said, maybe JB takes over and it's beyond our dreams good. So we don't know. We'll have to look at it. But that's my take is Tatum, don't rush him back. Just let him get better. Let him get into the basketball groove. Because I feel like if you throw him in the middle of let's say April, late February, late March, it's going to take him at least a month and a half just to get caught up in the speed of the it might mess things up where they are. So I'm let him sit out the whole year, bring him back during training camp, then he can, do all the basketball stuff, and going to have some new teammates, they're going to have some new players get accustomed to. I don't think that bringing them back would help the team.
Right.
So,
JB for MVP this year?
I don't know what the odds are, but I would get a ticket. You never know. So Larry, it is late June. The season doesn't start again till late September, early October. What's gonna keep you busy? Sports wise?
Free agency. I'll be checking my phone, checking the free agency, seeing who goes where. And then eventually I will have to watch the summer league because there's really no Olympics this year to keep us occupied. Caitlin Clark is injured again, so no one's watching that right now. And then we just had a 6-game losing streak with the Red Sox, so that's a bummer right now. So there's really not much to do other than watch some summer blockbusters. I think Superman's coming out, Jurassic World 20. I think we got Fantastic Four coming out, and then of course we'll have some movies breaking out. And I'm thinking Avatar and Wicked are coming out at the end of this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree. Superman is gonna low key. I want to see that movie. There's no basketball this summer. There's no FIFA. There's no Olympics. You're right. It's going to be a lot of summer league games, and then pretty much keep myself occupied until football starts, and then we'll go from there. So this is the last episode of the season. Larry, always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks you guys out there for listening to this podcast, Chasing C Notes. Do you have anything else to say to the fans out there, Larry?
Hey, hold on. I don't think we're going to trade any more big stars. I know we had to take that KP holiday, but we knew that was going to happen. Now we're just trying to get better, and we're going to see what these other teams do, and we're going to get in free agency, and we're going to try to get what best fits. Brad Stevens already made it clear that White's not going nowhere, Tatum's not going nowhere, JB's not going nowhere, and Pritchard's not going nowhere. It was pretty evident that he's holding on to those guys. He's going to take care of us in free agency, and we're going to be okay.
Yeah, we're going to be okay. Just, don't throw out next season just because Tatum is not there. I think that this team is going to compete. It was definitely disappointing losing to the Knicks, especially the way they lost, losing the first 2 games at home. I look back at that series and I just honestly don't know how it's possible. How they blew leads back-to-back games in third quarter. I don't know how that happens. I think Joe Mass needs to look in the mirror and figure out, and just look in the mirror and say, I need to be better. I need to be better. Especially if you have JB, Tatum, White, two veterans on your team. You need to be better. And I'm disappointed, but at the same time, we won a year ago. So, number 18. So, I'm not completely shattered. I know for a fact that we're not going to win 19 next year. But you never know. You never know. You never know with the East. So
if Tatum doesn't get injured in that game 4, we're still going to lose that game.
Well, see, that's, to me, the Knicks were up by 7 with 3 minutes left.
Right.
When the injury happened. And I think, the injury happened. They had a dunk. They were up 9 with 3 minutes left. Even if they would have gone 3-1, if without the Tatum injury, I still think that they had a chance in the series.
Okay.
So we just, it's the whole thing with Halliburton. It's just the same thing as Halliburton. We don't know how that game 7 would have turned out. We don't know how the series would have turned out. Knicks fans already knew. They were already celebrating like it was, like they won something.
Yeah, they won the...
Yeah. You won the East Corridor. That's all you did. That's all you did. Got a championship from Connecticut to Rhode Island to Boston. That's all they did. So, next season, Larry, we're going to review the rosters. It'll be episode number 27. So we'll take a couple of months off and then we'll come back probably late September. And then we'll start this all over again. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for your opinion. What you say?
We can start with free agency, then summer league, and then preseason.
Yeah, you never know. If we can extend it, even better. We can, I know there's a lot of things going on, but the fall, it's always like that. The fall is always going to be a lot of things going on. Yeah. Enjoy the time off. I know you have the summers off, so enjoy it. Then we can come back rested and ready to go. That's how I feel.
Let's go Celtics.
Let's go Celtics. With that said, I say peace.
Peace.
All right, Larry. We'll definitely talk next time that we do a podcast. It's going to be the Patriots roster.
Okay.
So I'll definitely send you the link. Now, what I'll do is I'll send you the spreadsheet so you can fill it out and just send it.
Okay, got it.
Say hi to Chanel and the family. Tell her my condolences. And enjoy your summer.
I will. All right, be easy, man.
Peace. Hi, guys. Thank you for listening to this episode, Chasing Dino's podcast. If you have any concerns or questions, feel free to email us at simsportsmedia@gmail.com. And please subscribe to this channel, this page, whatever it is, platform that you listen. Peace.